Hello, Anker friend. In this video, I want to show you how to use AnkerPlan and how to build buildings with this software. I already started AnkerPlan, so now you can see the main screen. But please note that this keyboard layout, which you see up here, is just shown so that you can see more easily which keys I'm pressing. So under normal condition, of course, this is not visible. So let's take a look. Obviously, you see 4 different views of the building. Top, front, right, and a camera view. But of course, you can adjust those views so you can set any kind of view in any kind of these windows. I can change the dimensions of the windows by simply clicking here on that small line and then move with the mouse. And like this, I can increase or decrease the size of each of these windows. Inside of a window, I can zoom simply by using the scrolling on your mouse to zoom into it or out of it. And if you press the Shift key and move with the mouse, you can also move the position of the building in the screen. And in the camera's view, there is one more option. If I press the Alt key and keep it pressed and move with the mouse, then I can also change the angle and the position of the camera in which I look at the building. On the right hand side, there is our toolbox. The toolbox contains obviously a list of all stones. For each stone, I can see some detailed information, stone number, how many of these stones are in a building, how many are in the box, and how many are left over. I can rotate the stone to see it from all sides. And if I click here on the label, then I can also see a much more detailed information about the stone. Further on, I can specify here which of the sets I'm going to use. I can see how many stones are left in the set which is chosen. So if I have 2,185 stones left. If I choose now just a different set, then you see this turns to red and indicates that I have used 8 stones which are not available in the set. If I click on it, I get the detailed information, and it tells me exactly which stones I used too much. So let's switch that back to 34. Now it turns back to green. I have also the possibility to filter this list, for instance, by different types of forms. So in this case, let's say if I look for the round arches, for the Roman arches, now I just see the list of Roman arches. And if I want, I can also specify a much more fine-grained, detailed filter to search for a very specific type of stone. So let's reset that all. Yeah, but now the idea is to build something. So I've chosen this building that I want to build. It's the so-called school with a tower. It's designed from Gerhard Bruckmann from Vienna. And I want to build with you this building now. Okay, so first of all, I say I want to have build a new building. Changes in the current building I don't want to save, so I just create a new building. Now I have to give it a name and an English name. And designer, in our case, it's Gerhard Bruckmann. And in this case, I'm the draftsman. Okay. I also want to choose for which stone set this building is, and I choose here in the Neue Folge the set number 8, Lennep. That's basically what that building is for. And I give it a name, a file name. I also call it now school. I save everything, and now we can start building. So how do I place a stone on the plan? Simply I choose the stone and do a double click, and the stone is placed. And I see it immediately on all 4 views. Let me zoom a little bit in. And as you can see, it is aligned to the grid. Yeah. So now the question is, how do I move a stone? And that's very simple. I just use the arrow keys. So in the view, which is the active one, meaning in this case it's this one, top, the one which is white is the active one. So if I click here, now it would be this one. But in most of the cases, we want to build on the top view. So in the top view, now arrow key up means I move it in this direction, down in this direction, to the left and to the right. As simple as that. Now let's place a second stone. Again, I do a double click on stone number 5. Now in the top view, obviously it looks like nothing changed, but as you can see in the other views, it's simply because the stone was placed exactly on top of the other one. So let's move it away. Now I can see this stone is selected, whereas this one isn't. How do I change that? There's many ways. Let's start with the most simplest one, is to click on it. If I want to select more than one stone, I hold the control key and click on the second stone. And like this, I can toggle any stone the selection. Of course, if I now move, it moves both of them simultaneously. I can also move stones not only by an entire unit, but by some fractions of a unit. To move a stone by half of a unit, I just keep the shift key pressed while using the arrows, and now you can see the stone is moved by half a unit. Quarter of a unit with the control key, and 1/8 of a unit by control and shift simultaneously. And finally, if I want to move it by 1/16 of a size, so it's control, alt, shift, and the arrow key. In theory, it's possible also to move stones by the mouse, with a mouse, but I would strongly advise to only do that in very specific situations. Another important hint, in a moment we have here this icon pressed, which is the collision prevention, and I would always keep this switched on. There is only very rare cases where it might make sense to temporarily disable it. If you don't enable this, then it would be possible to move stones into each other, of course, which is not practical. One more point I can see here is that this stone, the one that is selected, is not at the bottom, simply because new stones are always inserted at the top. So how do I move it down to the bottom? There is a simple press the Enter key, which does nothing else than moving it down. The next stone I need for my building is the stone number 4. So I double click it, and here it is. But now I need it rotated. There is 3 keys to rotate a stone. That's I, K, and L. I press now I, and it rotates on the surface. In contrast to L, which rotates like that, and K, well, not really visible in this case, rotates on the 3rd axis. So now I can move it here, and in fact I have to move it half a unit more, so Shift and key, and now it's at the right place. Now I need another stone, stone number 19. So I scroll down in red, here it is. Again, I have to rotate it and place it and put it down. Oh, I forgot to put this one down. So I select it and move it down. If I know the stone number, there is another way of inserting stones, and that is by simply entering here the stone number. So I need down in this corner, I need another 19. So I just enter in 19 plus the color code. The color code for reds is an R. In case you don't know all the color codes, just look here. They are written here in front of all the colors that exist. So in our case, we use red. And here is the stone. Rotate and put it in place and move it down. So now we have half of our first layer. The other half looks exactly the same, just that it's on the other side mirrored. Now let me show you another way of selecting stones. That's simply by clicking, and then while keeping it clicked, create this frame around the stones I want to select, and the moment I release, they are selected. And now I want to duplicate those stones. There is a simple key which allows you to do that, and that's the D. So if I press D, then I have duplicated all the selected stones. Now I can rotate them, move them to the right place, put them to the floor, and in this very moment our first layer is finished. On the next layer we start with a 3 in red. Oops, this one also needs to be rotated. There we are, and moved here. I need another one. Now I simply duplicate it, move it here. I need a 19 in red, move it here, duplicate it, move it here. Now I need a 1 in red, which goes here, and another 19 in red for up here. Needs to be rotated, move down, and duplicate it, and we need it a second time here. So now I have 1/2 of my second layer. Now again, I can duplicate it and move it here. In fact, now duplication is not the right thing. I need to mirror it. We do that in a second. So first of all, of course, I need to select all the stones I want to move. If I just do that with a frame, that's not what I want, because as you can see, the lower layer is now selected as well. Of course, I could select one by one, but there is a simpler way, by simply selecting one of the stones in the layer, and now I press right mouse click, and now I have here the option to say select complete layer. Now he will select all the stones which are in the same layer as the selected one. If I do that, you can see all the stones in this layer are selected. Now, as mentioned, I want to mirror. So I press right mouse click, again choose mirror. I mirror left right, and I don't just want to mirror it, but I want to copy it and mirror it at the same time. So when I do that, let me close that. Now you can see that this entire group of stones has been mirrored. Put it in the right place, drop it on the floor, and my next layer is finished. The following layer, I need a 108 in red, which goes here, but of course, no. Now it's correct, like this. I need a 110 in red, which goes here. I need a 1 in red, and I need another 108 in red, which goes here, and another one in red, which goes here. Now I have the first row. Again, I do the trick. Oh, no, there's 2 stones missing. I need a 34 in yellow, which goes here. Duplicate it because we also need it here. And now I have this row of stones finished. Let me do the same trick than before. I select one of it, say select complete layer, and now I duplicate, rotate, put it down, and now we have both sides finished. What is still missing is here. Here I need a 113 in red. Here it is. I have to rotate it and put it down. Let me see from the side if it's correct. Well, obviously not. So I have to rotate it again, put it on the right place, and here we go. So now I want to show you another functionality of AnkerPlan. I want to mirror this stone. If I do that, then you can see the stone is mirrored. Let me rotate it to the right side, put it down, and we are ready. What is important to notice is that the original stone had the number 113R, whereas the rotated one has 112R. It's simply that AnkerPlan knows about all those cases where the mirror partner of a stone has a different number and does it automatically correct if you mirror. Okay, now we just need to select those 2, duplicate them, and put them on the other side. I need to rotate and put them down. Let's just see That was exactly the wrong way around, both of them. So this 2 have to go here, and those 2 have to go here. Okay, so let's take a look. Now we see it from the right side. I can change the view, put it to the left, and now we see it from the left side. Now they are both correct. Good. So let's move on with the next layer. That's a very simple one. All we need here is a 28 in red. Here it is. Rotation and moving it. Oops. Now I did the movement in the wrong view. Here. Duplicate it. And here. Next layer, we need a 4. Rotate. Here. Duplicate. Then we can duplicate those 2. Put them here. Then we need a 15 in red. Oops, sorry, that was the wrong key. Rotate. Here, duplicate. Here. Select both, duplicate. And here. And then we need another 15 in red. But now it has to stand. Which goes here. Duplicate. And here. And in the middle goes 98 in red. Rotate and move it down. On to the next layer. 22 in red. Goes here. Duplicate. Here. Duplicate. Here. Duplicate. Here. Next layer. A 5 in yellow. Rotate. Goes here. Duplicate. Here. Duplicate. And another duplicate. Okay, now I pressed one time too much, duplicate, which had the effect that I used more stones than what is in my set. So I get this warning message. And not only that, as you can see up here, we have the red number, and here we also have a red number. So I just confirm this and delete this stone by simply using the delete. And we are back on green and everything's fine. So the last stone, last yellow stone be placed. Oh, this one is also not done. Now we are ready. Okay, so let's start with the roof stones. 208 in blue. As you can see, it's not in the right position. No. So, like this. Now it's correct. Duplicate. Oops, I'm here. Duplicate, 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 duplicate. And then the same on the other side. Need to rotate. Duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. Then we need a 210 in blue. Rotate. That's not correct. No, it's correct. Duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. select all of them. Duplicate, rotate. Let's take a look if everything's looking alright. I change a bit the angle in which we can see, just to make sure that everything's correct. Then of course we need here 212 in blue. That's also not really the right position. Here we are. Duplicate it, rotate, duplicate, rotate, duplicate, rotate. And finally in this gap there goes a simple 4 in yellow. And let's move on to the next layer. I simply need this one again, duplicate here. I need this one here. I need this one, duplicate here, and this one, duplicate here. Then I can select those, duplicate them, and select those, duplicate them, and put them here. Now here we need a 19 in yellow and a 15 in yellow. Duplicate it here. And on to the next layer, 4 in yellow. We have also used too many stones. Oh, there was a wrong color, as simple as that. So let's remove the stone. I wanted to have a 4 in yellow. Here we are. Duplicate it, and here we go. Now we need a 17 in red, but laying down like this, and with Command we have to position it like this. Duplicate, rotate. No. Now I can select both, duplicate, rotate, and in the middle goes a 29 in yellow. I have to put it up and drop it on the floor. Now we need some tower stones, so 265 in blue. No. Should go here. Duplicate it. Rotate. Here. Now I select both of them, duplicate, rotate, and here we are. Oh, I think there is some not done. This one and this one were not done. Then we need a 262 in blue, which goes here. Duplicate. We need to rotate. Here we are. Now again I can select both, duplicate, rotate, and put them in here. Now another 265. I just duplicate this one as well. Oh, wait a minute. Again, duplicate. duplicate and rotate it, move it to the right position, select both, duplicate, rotate down, and at the very top is a 288 in blue, which I can position now. So now my building is basically finished. Let's take a look. Just make the camera view a bit bigger, and with holding the Alt key I just rotate, now Shift and zoom a bit and rotate a bit around the building to see if it's really okay. Well, it looks good. So the next step, of course, is to work with the layers. How to do that? First of all, I have to switch in the layer mode. That goes here. This symbol stands for layer mode, and if I click on it, then I'm there. Now I just see 3 views, and they're all empty simply because there is no layers yet. So I can use this button, suggest layers, to create them, and here they are. So let's start with the first layer. 1, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, and so on until the very top. What I don't like so much is that in this case the stone number 98 is not in the center of the stone, or not on top of the stone. So what I can do is I can just select it, and as in the building mode, I can now in the layer mode move it around with the arrow keys. In this case by half a unit, I can move it like that. Okay, so now our building is roughly prepared. The final step is, of course, to create the building plan. So I press this button, and here I can now really choose which kind of views I want to see in my final plan. Choose the paper size, resolutions, and a bunch of other settings, and then I just press the generate layer, and then it shows up here this small progress bar, and in a few minutes or seconds it will be finished. So here we are, and let's open it and let me show it to you. Here is our building, and it comes with all the views, including side views with layer numbers, even a top view, and of course all the layers until the very top. So that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you soon in this